What's up, guys? We're back. It's been a minute. It's been a few minutes actually, but without further ado, I'll get straight into it. Yeah, I've been gone for a bit. Reason being is I have been learning. A lot of learning has been going on. So yeah, without further ado, I'll get straight into my TA. On gold, start off 1 by 1. We have this distribution model here, which I was looking at like a slightly more smaller TCT in TCT, which never happened. So I will get rid of this. Yeah, I'll talk a little bit through it, then I won't talk through a lot of it because this is just more so for me to look back on myself. So if I feel the need to talk, I'll talk. Otherwise, I'm not going to talk through it that much. Yeah, these order blocks can go. We've ran all the way through those. Like, I'll zoom in and see if it's actually, we'll get rid of this because it's just not, it's useless having this demand zone here because it hasn't been, oh, has it? God damn, I'm a handsome man. God damn. What was I drawing here? Yeah, this can go. We have a demand chain here. The demand chain, sorry, structured demand. Yeah, structured demand here with a 4-hour, 3-hour OBIF to be precise. And I will set my alerts on that. If we are to form a distribution model here, at the end of the day, you're always going to trade the confirmation of the expectation, but I would like to see price come into this supply zone first before anything. So yeah, we do have demand here. It's fine. We have some equal highs here, which I'm not going to remove this because it doesn't need to be here anymore. And they're equal highs. Now they have been swept because if you look at it on the 1 minute, I should probably just all right. So these are now no longer equal highs, or they never were equal highs. meaning that the fact that price has gone this far up, I don't see much reason for it to come back down. Unless nah. It's probably gonna sweep. It's probably gonna sweep this, I have a feeling. And is there anything in here that we might get a little reaction from? There. Okay. We have a 30-minute OBIF. Or do we?
Nah. It's more like 15 on there. Yeah.
Yeah, we've just mitigated that. Yep, so 15-minute it is. And then on there, yeah, you got this structured leg. Yeah, regardless. And also, what I don't like about this range is that there's not much. Like, there's a few gaps here, so there's not much of a return to zone. It's a fairly upward. It's a fairly fast and upward move. Yeah. Yeah, trading this as a distribution wouldn't be. Look, if it plays out, it plays out. But yeah, and then you got this massive 3-hour OBIF down here at the bottom of the range. So it's not the best for optimal trading conditions. You more so want. You probably want something like this. Bang. Bang. Bang, and then maybe you'll come up here. And then another one. And they'll probably reject off this again. And that's it. Something like that. We'll see if it actually happens or not. You know what, I'm going to change this to like an orange. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, something like that. We'll see if that happens. That's gold for the week for me. Yeah, not much else to do than just wait and see what price decides to do. Dog Silver. Damn. We've got a 4-day OBI here. Like, you just know price is coming back up. No if, buts, or maybes. 3-day here. There you go, a little structured supply pool. Okay, what are we seeing from a TA standpoint for silver? Yep. Okay, we have supply here. We did have this little very compact accumulation which ended up hitting its technical target, but that is no longer valid, so can be removed. And then we have some more refined structure supply here. See if we get a reaction of that. And this will be my range on silver. Price might come up in. Curious to see if price actually grabbed anything from here. I reckon it may have. Yeah, it may have grabbed extreme liquidity, which this is valid extreme liquidity, but if it hasn't been grabbed, it has not, it's been front ran. Right. There you go. Extreme liquidity, consider it front ran. Therefore, this is not a valid model. Well, that is silver done. Not much else that needs to be said around silver. into a semi-macro context. Just making sure I did put my alerts on there. Sweet. Alright, Euro USD. A lot to work on here. So yeah, we're technically in a confirmed model 2 accumulation. And this was back when I was with the red dots. Obviously, blue dots are now superior for your ranges. Yeah, that's valid. With an DL. That is very valid. That's fine. Like, there is demand here, but it just hasn't really done much. Sack these off. Yeah, and then obviously this never went through, so this can get sacked off as well. Bang, clean chart there, nice. Right, what I would like to see here on Euro USD is a accumulation into this third tap here of our much higher time frame distribution. And you can see pretty evidently that we do have a nice return zone forming here. But straight off the bat, should this be a valid model, it will most likely end up being a model 1 accumulation, just because of these equal lows that have built up here. That's how I see it. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Yeah, and these are 3-hour candles as well. So, given we get a confirmation around here, we're looking at some point towards the end of the week. So we're still a while away from this. But as always, it is good to pre-plan. And then I remember seeing this, but I don't think it's it's not really a valid block from memory. 2, 2, 2, that's valid. We have mitigated demand. What's happening from a very local perspective? Like realistically, you can even call this extreme liquidity. So you know what? There she is. Not much else that there is to pre-plan around Euro USD. Is just, yeah, we've sort of done all the pre-planning now. We just have to wait for price to see what it will do. And also, where is this supply coming from? Is it valid? This must be real local supply. Okay, 30-minute structure supply. That's fair enough. And it has actually grabbed some liquidity around here, which is very valid. Technically, it has not grabbed liquidity because this has already swept that, so this is none of this is a valid liquidity point. Had it have grabbed this, it would have been valid. But we'll leave that there. I'll leave it right on this just to make it really Bam, that's our pre-planning for Euro USD. Yeah, very nice liquidity curve. To around here. Yeah, I like it. See what happens. GBP USD. Okay. Okay, here we are in this very awkward looking range in GBP USD, where we've actually created the range, but then we've deviated our high once and then hit the bottom of the range. That can stay. There's obviously demand here. What type of demand is it? Alright. 2-week structure demand. That is valid. That's valid. Let's see what price is doing at a more local. So valid range here. deviated our tap once. Okay, we've ran through all this. Looks like that could have, and most likely was a PO3 schematic. Is there any more demand in here? There has to be. Oh, we've mitigated all this. So unless there's nothing in this bottom half then, and it doesn't, there is no more. Yeah, this demand area is now officially mitigated. Looks like it has been mitigated as well. And then you've got some supply in here. Some structure supply. And I believe there's some below as well. And this is valid too. Yeah, I would not be looking at this as some sort of accumulation. Not at all. Yeah, this was the range pull that I had earlier, but it's just not, you know. Yeah, it's not a nice deviation. I look at that. We've gone way out. Therefore, not valid. If anything, we'll have something forming here. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we can come back here and accumulate in there. Yeah. See what happens. Yeah, locally we are in range, in very premium range price, so very nice accumulation here. We can expect some exhaustion at some point. Yeah, we have this very nice accumulation range which played out, hit its technical target. Asia low is there. All this demand here is kind of pointless. With AUD USD, I would like to see it. I'd like to see some sort of distribution after mitigating this supply. That's pretty much it from AUD USD. Nothing but just let price do its thing. Like everything has been mitigated, yeah. Yeah, here I would just like price to just give us something. We've completed the accumulation model, so let's see what yeah, AUD USD. Wait for some data, that's all I can say really. And knowing that we are in that very much premium range pricing. Yeah, you maybe have a bit of a very, very small distribution model here. We've swept New York highs. But even this, like taking this distribution, I would not like to take this distribution unless we mitigate this. But then if we mitigate this, we've already displaced way too far, and this third tap would be somewhere like here for it to be like a legitimate third, for it to be a realistic third tap. And this is, yeah, like price is going to have to storm up here. Yeah, this, like as I'm talking through this, taking this trade from a distribution model, even if it gives us confirmation, is just low probability because there's just so much supply up here which would you like to get mitigated first. Yeah, that's what I would say about this. Yeah, like your third tap your third tap's already too far-fetched for this to be a valid trade. For the price to come up, by the time price comes back up, your third tap's going to be somewhere around here. So this is already yeah. Not to mention it's a pretty short model. We're looking at 6 hour range, let's say. Can delete that, I don't need it. So yeah, AUD USD for now. Just be patient. Be patient. Be patient. What the fuck did I say? Be patient. Just be patient, guys. AUD USD. Just be patient. Right. USD CAD. I think I'm going to go through all of these just because it's getting a little bit late. How long have we been going for? 35. Got some hectic TA in there. Yeah, I'm not liking this range, man. Like, what I would like for this to become a nice, lovely looking range is for price to really mitigate this supply zone, come back down, create some sort of local accumulation model, and then run back up. That's what I would like to see. Yeah, we've pretty much taken everything here. There's not much else to grab outside of this mega looking supply zone. So yeah, you would think price would come in here sooner rather than later. Otherwise, from below, mitigated. Yeah, I like to see price coming here and then give us some form of range bound price action. You obviously got liquidity here to grab as well, which will get grabbed pretty shortly. Yeah, ideally I would like some form of, like there's no, ideally I would like, whatever was here has been grabbed as well, pretty much. I would like price to come in here first. That's what I'm going to say. I would like price to come in here. Meaning from a local standpoint, I would like to see some form of accumulation outside in here. $6 range. And that's all I got for a USD CAD for now. Just grab all this. This is well within our deviation range. Yeah, there's not really much demand creation around here. Even the CME gap's been pretty much filled. Yeah, like the return zone here looks nice for potential shorts opportunities. So yeah, definitely look for shorts in here. I feel like we might sweep that liquidity. Just based on what price is doing now, I feel like we might form some sort of a distribution model to grab this liquidity below before running back up and mitigating this supply. And honestly, this looks like a nice distribution model. IMO. Looks nice. Looks really nice. Like,
Yeah. See, like you got all these lows here.
that was terrible. Low, low, low. And below us, like, yeah, there's not much, just liquidity. So I'd like to see price drop in here, drop in this empty space from this distribution line. It's beautifully created. The only thing is that the POIs aren't the best. Like, there's no real supply POI here. You kind of have to go for extreme liquidity, which is this. It just is this.
This is your extreme liquidity.
If this gets taken, then you can validate a trade realistically. You just can. Yeah, no demand in here either. Like, this looks primed for a for a nice short if we can mitigate this, sweep this liquidity, preferably on a London high sweep as well. Your cards, yeah. That's JBP JPY right now. See what happens. Well, it's a set. This is probably going to complete pretty soon. Yeah. GBP NZD, and it can continue running after that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a runner. Valid. There's a 12-hour demand OBIF larger than the 18-hour one. Fair enough. Yeah, just heaps of liquidity here, which will probably get taken out fairly soon. Nice turn to the loan as well. Yeah, we might catch, you could catch like a fairly low time frame accumulation scalp in here, because you can already see a return zone starting to build up here. Other than that, yeah, it'll eventually end up hitting its range low target. So, whereas for now, just wait and see what happens. All right, I think that's it for today. Yeah, that's it for today. I'll call it here. Got to hit the hay as well. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna try start making this every Sunday thing, just every Sunday night. Little market update, pre-plan the week ahead. Other than that, yeah, I don't think I'll be recording any of my live trades as of yet. Yeah, it's just not necessary at the moment. I'm still very much in the learning phase, so a lot of it will just be me, myself, and I in front of the charts. As of for the pre-planning, this is helpful for me as well, because I can sort of talk through my own thinking, and then I can also look back on if I end up taking a trade from this pre-planning that we do on Sundays. I'll be able to look back on it and see what my thought process was. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you to myself for putting in the work as always, and I'll see myself on the next stream. Peace.